couple of days ago, I put out a video called How to Recover from Spiritual Abuse. For me, that was one of my core wounds. And a scapegoat and as a black sheep, it really, that's heavy stuff. So when I got a comment yesterday from one of my relatives on the video, I thought this is a perfect example to show you guys how to respond from comments, how to be objective instead of reacting. My name is Mark, it's the Emotional Alchemist. I show black sheep and scapegoats how to recover from that role, put down the baggage of the past, and find a joy and a happiness in life that we're all looking for. How to connect with me and you. Most of my self-hatred comes from early abuse at the hands of people who were trying to help with religion in a kind of Pentecostal evangelical way. But what it meant was that I carried all of this baggage, all of this darkness of other people for years. Self-hatred. It's the reason I had the cocaine overdose. It's the reason all sorts of stuff. So I made a video on it a year ago, and it took me a year to publish it because this is my core stuff. This idea that I'm going to go to hell if I'm not perfect. As a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, I couldn't understand that stuff, and there's part of me that still carries that energy. So I made that video a year ago, but because I hadn't processed it all yet, I didn't publish it. I waited a year, and it's good, and it's the perfect example to show you, because I make these videos for you. I use examples of me, not usually specific examples, but how I recover from the scapegoat role, so that when I am prodded, I don't have to react, whether that's family or anybody else. The comment that I got came in yesterday, said, it's time to move on and forgive. And actually, it's true. It's at the core, but that's kind of spiritual bypassing, right? Because if you don't actually do the shadow work around it, understand how you were hurt, what the wound is, why it still comes up today, then you're always going to react to it. Which is why I've taken a year to publish the video, because I knew that I hadn't forgiven, and I knew that I would react if I got a comment like that. So I waited a year, and I can now look at it objectively, because the first thing, it's good advice, but actually it lacks the shadow work. It's like, need to process. You can't just move on from those feelings of, the wounds that you experienced as a 4-year-old or a 6-year-old or whatever it was. They're still controlling you today, if they are still controlling you today, and everybody's walking around with this stuff, then it needs to be healed. Go back energetically, heal that. Second of all, she didn't actually say that the abuse didn't take place. She just said that I should move on from it. One of the ways that a family will cope with stuff that goes on is just to flat out deny it, or to say it doesn't matter, because actually what it says, that comment is saying effectively, yes, it happened, it's not relevant anymore, you need to move on and forgive. I have moved on. I don't talk to my family anymore. It's a real blessing. Forgive? Yes, predominantly. So why do I still make these videos? Well, actually, I find the more that I talk about this stuff, my baggage of the past, the more it helps you, but also the more energetic release I get. I always remember watching a Gary Vee video. He's like the monk, I call him the Shaolin monk of entrepreneurship. And someone asked him, it was a late teenager, in 19, 20 years old, and he said, how do I get over the negative programming and the baggage that I still carry from my family? Gary Vee just says, name it, put it out there, get rid of the shame. It's not yours. Effectively, he's saying you're carrying baggage which isn't yours. Just jettison it. The same sort of thing. If I can say, and I do, I have learned to be honest about this stuff, because it releases me energetically from that baggage of the past. If I can say, look, I experienced a whole bunch of stuff as a kid which affected me for most of my life in a kind of passive suicidal way, someone explained recently. It's like, I didn't want to kill myself, never really wanted to die. I always had hope that it would be better, but actually I was living in a way which almost guaranteed that I would die. If I can find it, I'll put the picture of me waking up from the cocaine overdose. I've never put that out. No one's ever seen it other than me. I had this, because if you're carrying that much baggage, if you're a black sheep or a scapegoat and you are carrying the baggage of the family or anybody else, it weighs you down massively. But what you realize is when you put it down, you've become amazingly strong. And I've become amazingly strong mentally. Being able to, see the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, the things that are thrown at you in order for you to react. If you can just step back from them energetically, look at them and go, that's not mine. Just hand it back. If your reality is denied, just find someone who can corroborate your own reality. Say, explain. When I talk to people that help me, they're like, dude, that's totally not normal for a 4-year-old to experience. They name it. They're objective to it. Don't interact with people who are going to deny your stuff, deny your experience. It's just going to drive you crazy. I look at it like this. There are 1 million of us, if not more, on pirate ships being tortured. Family pirate ships being tortured. That's the way it always was. And they say, you can leave at any time. There's the plank. Why don't you walk the plank? And we're standing on this plank, looking into the unknown. But what we can't see is there's 1 million other scapegoats all standing on planks of family pirate ships wanting to step off. But if we can't see everybody, and I love this YouTube channel because actually I get to see you guys, scapegoats, who are standing on a plank, have fear to walk off into the unknown. I call this a faith space. I've been walking through it for a while. A faith space is not knowing what's going to happen, kind of being all right with it, but learning to be all right with it too. Step into that faith space. If we could all see 1 million of us at once, the fun guys, the me and you, scapegoats, black sheep, the weird ones, the odd ones, the fun ones in life, to find that connection, that joy, leave behind the baggage of the past, step off of the plank. That's why I make this channel, because I see the potential for all of us to connect, have fun, and find joy in life, as opposed to carrying that baggage. That's why I make this. It's the emotional alchemist. It's taking the lead and the crap of the past, all those bad negative experiences, and transmuting them, healing them, self-nurturing and loving, connecting with others so that we can find a higher vibration, and not have to live the rest of our lives in that darkness of other people. If you want to see the video on spiritual abuse, it's right here. My name is Mark, this is the Emotional Alchemist. I help scapegoats and black sheep and empaths put down the baggage of the past, find that joy that we want now and the connection with me and you. Thanks for watching.